Hi guys, it's CV, and today I am going to be talking to you about something kind of serious. And if you clicked on this video because you are currently having a panic attack, I got you, dude. This is my forte. So I'm just gonna get straight into it so that I don't have to waste time for anyone that is actually having an issue right now. Let me just give you one quick thing in background though. My name's Chelsea. I've had panic disorder for 5 or 6 years. It started when I was 18 and it really progressed into something wild. I spent 5 years doing cognitive behavioral therapy and learning a bunch of coping mechanisms in order to deal with panic attacks, and I'm going to share those with you right now. This particular video is for people that are trying to do this and handle their anxiety and panic attacks without medication. So method number one is distraction, and if you're watching this video that might serve as a distraction for you, but there are other ways that you can do this as well. For me personally, what I did was, I know that when you're having a panic attack, it is really hard to take a step back and say, okay, what do I need to do? So I made a list of things that I need to do so that whenever I'm having a panic attack, I call it my panic attack sheet, and I've got 3 of them. As soon as I start feeling anxious, I go and I reach for these little sheets, and they have lists of activities that I can do, because if I can't remind myself, if I can't take a step back and tell myself what to do, at least these sheets can, that I have written for myself in my downtime with a calm mind. So on these sheets, I have affirmations, I have things like, go play a video game, go watch a funny video, go watch a funny movie, listen to music, try dancing. Do you have somebody that you can call to help talk you down? Is there someone that understands your situation? Is there somebody around you? If you don't have access to games on your phone like solitaire or whatever, there are other things that you can do. Pick something up. I mean, honestly, it could be any random object. Like I have my dog's toy right here. Pick something up. Feel the texture of it. Distract your brain. Talk about it with someone. Tell them what it sounds like. Tell them what it feels like. What color is it? Can you think of other things that are that color? What else feels like that? What else sounds like that? Distract your mind as best as you can so that you can bring yourself back to now. Anxiety is a problem that consists of worrying about the future or what ifs and stuff like that. Worst case scenarios are always flying through your mind. So bring yourself back to the now by distracting yourself. I always play games on my phone like solitaire, or games where there's a time constraint like Tetris, so that all I can focus on is that thing, because that brings me back to this moment right now. I know that this is not a long-term solution, but when you're in the middle of a panic, you don't care about a long-term solution. You want a fix right now. Another method I used to use was I always used to call my mom, and she would talk me down through it. However, there were times where she wasn't available to talk, and that would make me anxious in itself. So I had to start finding more ways for me that I could handle it by myself. But distraction is a really good method to help you calm down in that moment. Another thing that you can do to help yourself get through panic attacks and cope with them is just understanding what a panic attack is. And this is something that you might have to do in your downtime when you are in a calm state of mind. Just learn about what's happening to your body. A panic attack is essentially your fight or flight response. It is nature's way of telling you that there is a present danger, that you need to spend all your energy either fighting off this danger or running away from it. The problem with panic attacks is that your body is sending you this message to fight for your life when there is no actual present danger happening. So if you understand that it's a fight or flight response, and what's actually happening in your body is that your body is sending you a huge rush of adrenaline to give you the energy to escape from whatever bad thing is around you. It's just happening at the wrong time, and that's okay. So what can you do? Expend the energy that your body is giving you. If you're being flooded with adrenaline, why not do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, work up a little sweat, like 5 minutes of your time, expend that energy, get it out of you, and those panicky symptoms will subside. Self-talk is really important. Knowing that you're not going to die, knowing that yes, this does happen to people. You are not alone in this. There are thousands and thousands of people that experience panic attacks in their lifetimes, and you will be okay. It's scary as shit, I understand, but you just have to get through that moment. It might feel like a heart attack. It's not. You're just amped up. It's okay. And you're gonna be okay. So remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of what's actually happening to your body. Try to expend some of that energy and just know that it's gonna be fine. It will pass. Usually they last about 5 minutes, like in a really intense way, and you might feel the effects of them for like 10 or 15 minutes later, but it will pass. So just set yourself up for those affirmations, and I also have that kind of stuff included on my panic attack sheet that I've written for myself. There are affirmations on there saying it's gonna be fine, it's a rush of adrenaline, just reminders for myself so that I know. The last method to dealing with panic attacks might take the longest amount of time, and if you've noticed, I've kind of gone from like what to do in the immediate moment to how to cope with this over longer periods of time. For me, I went to therapy for 5 years to learn coping mechanisms, what a panic attack is, and a bunch of different stuff. And I also tried to address what triggered my anxiety head on. This is the part that takes a while. It's all fine and dandy to distract yourself and learn what a panic attack is, but that's not gonna solve the problem. It might help you immediately to calm down out of a panic attack, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna prevent yourself from having another one in the future. So you have to like kind of really dig in on that aspect of it. Find out what your triggers are, what makes you anxious enough to go into full-fledged panic attack, you know? For me, it was several things in the past. I used to have a really bad dependency issue on my mom and her availability to me. It was a totally irrational thing. I had to work on my confidence in myself to know that I can handle it, I can get through it, you know what I mean? Instead of always relying on somebody else. And another trigger for me was I was really scared to be in a closed space. This is still something that I struggle with sometimes, but I'm getting better and better as it goes on. So public transportation is hard for me because if you get on a bus or you get on a subway or you get on a train or in a taxi, my mind automatically makes me feel like I'm trapped. I can't get out whenever I want to. I'm not in control of this vehicle. I can't just pull it over and leave. Like, I am at the hands of somebody else. And that really messed with me for a while. But I have been slowly and slowly exposing myself more and more to those types of triggers. And that's been really good for me as well, because every time I put myself in that situation and I get through it, I boost my own confidence. Like, for example, recently I was at Disney World in Florida, and from the parking lot you have to take like a little train, like metro like thing to the actual park. And I was nervous. I was nervous to get on it, and I got on. And we ended up going to the wrong park. We went to like Universal instead of Disney World on accident. And so we had to get back on the thing to go back to the parking lot and then take another one back to Disney World. And when we were getting on to go back onto the one that takes us to the parking lot, I got in there, but right as the doors were about to close, I had to jump off. Like, I leapt through those doors. I had to get off for a second because I just wasn't ready because I felt like I was about to be trapped, you know? So I waited for the next one, got on that one, and then just played on my phone the whole time, distracting myself until I got through it. And then once I got through it, I was happy. I was fine. I was like, hell yeah, I did that. When the park closed and we had to go back to the parking lot, everyone was trying to get out. So everyone's taking this tram. You can also take a boat, like a little ferry. I'm scared of those. I'm scared of transportation. Boats are slow. I don't know. I was nervous about it, but the guy kept saying that that method was faster than waiting on the trams, and I believed him. So we went on the boat and I did it. I just distracted myself. It was fine. But my point is, the more and more that you expose yourself to those types of fears, the more and more you put it in the past. You put those triggers behind you. The reason that I moved out of my hometown and into a travel trailer to travel the country was to challenge myself, was to push myself in those boundaries of being away from home, being out of my comfort zone. It's worked for me. I mean, I've had anxious moments for sure, but the fact that I can say that I've traveled across the United States 4 or 5 times in the last year and seen things that I would have never done before, that makes me so happy that it's worth pushing through it. Those are 3 methods for you without medication on how to deal with your panic attacks and panic disorder. I know how it feels. I know it sucks. I know you might think I'm gonna be this way forever and life is not worth living if I'm gonna be scared of everything, but I'm telling you, you can make progress. I think that maybe panic disorder and panic attacks, that level of anxiety, or that anxiety in general, might always be with us, but it doesn't mean that it has to stop us from living our life, and it doesn't mean that we can't learn coping skills in order to alleviate those symptoms at the very least. You know what I mean? We can do that. So number 1, if you're having it in the moment, distraction is key. Make yourself a list of things that you can do. Jumping jacks, play solitaire on your phone, games that are timed on your phone, watch a funny video, have something downloaded on your phone, call somebody, talk to somebody, pick something up, feel it, like smell it, listen to it, and listen to your favorite music. Just distract your brain temporarily so that you can get out of that fight or flight mode. Number 2, understand what a panic attack is. That fight or flight mode. It's a rush of adrenaline coming to your body, so expend that energy. And just understand that it's not dangerous to you. It feels dangerous, but there is actually no present danger to you, and you will be okay. It has to pass. And number 3, work on it head on. If you want to get therapy, go for it. I did. It helped me quite a bit. But if you can't for any reason, I know healthcare, like mental health care, is not as accessible as it should be. It's okay, because you can still think on it, meditate on it, decide what your triggers are, and little by little expose yourself to those triggers. And every time you accomplish like even the smallest thing, you're building your confidence. You're telling panic disorder that you have a hold of it. It is not going to beat you today. And just set yourself up for success. Take things slowly. It's definitely a process, but I have every bit of confidence in you. I have every bit of confidence in everyone that they can at least make it a little bit better, and you can still make life worth it. So those are my 3 things. I really hope this helped you. I really hope this helps somebody. These are all things that I really needed to hear when I was first going through my diagnosis and everything. I felt very, very alone, and I just, therapy is one thing, but I feel like it's another thing to have a friend who can be there for you, that understands what you're going through. And if any of you guys are ever having an issue, please feel free to reach out to me. Like, I'm so here for you, and I just want to help. I want to be there. I get it. It's not, you don't have to, it's not embarrassing. This happens to so many people. Talk about it, talk openly about it. Don't feel any shame about it, because it's normal. It's okay. We just get through it. So yeah, there's that. I hope that helped. But subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, man. I'm really trying to spread the word about being open about mental health. This is so important, and I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but like in the past year, I've lost several friends due to mental health issues that they were experiencing, that they just they didn't think they could get through. And so this really hits home for me, not only because I suffer with it myself, but the friends that I've lost because of it. This is an issue that everybody faces in some way or another, and we have to talk about it. We have to be open to our friends and family that suffer it. We have to be open towards ourselves and our healing process. So just do the best that you can, and I'm here for you, and I love you, and yeah, share this video with anyone that you think needs to hear it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.